Hi comic book fans, and welcome to another suddenlycomics.com video. Today it is another in my series of forgotten classics, and for today's video we are travelling back to 1982 and we are going to take a look at Stephen King's Creepshow. So just a warning to any of you out there of a delicate disposition. This is a horror film. It is, as it says on here, a very scary movie, and this is the comic that is based on the very scary movie Creepshow. And what a sort of pedigree this has. So it is written by Stephen King, he of The Shining, Carrie, Cujo, Pet Sematary, and numerous other films and books. One of the greatest horror writers ever. Not only that, but the film is directed by George A. Romero, he of Dawn of the Dead. And if we look at this cover here, this is another classic cover. This cover art is by somebody called Jack Cayman. And it is a bit of a homage to House of Secrets 92, first appearance of the Swamp Thing, where the Swamp Thing is looking in the window at the character. And here we have got, I think he calls himself Creeps, looking in through the window at a child. But who is the scarier of the two, the child or the skeleton? And on the wall we can see the posters, and he's got a poster for The Shining, a poster for Carrie, and a poster of Dawn of the Dead. Okay, and on the rear of this we've got perhaps even more scary looking, we've got a scary photograph of Stephen King, and it says Stephen King conjures up 5 jolting tales of horror: Father's Day, Lonesome Death of Geordie Verrell, Crate, Something to Tide You Over, and They're Creeping Up on You. Right, okay, let's dig in. So we open this up and we get a credits page. Stephen King's Creepshow, a George A. Romero film. And guys, the art in this comic is by Berni Wrightson, with Michelle Wrightson giving a hand. Cover art by Jack Cayman. This was published in 1982. I think I got my copy new. I think I paid cover price for it. It's a sort of it's like a sort of large trade paperback, a sort of large size trade paperback with card covers. It's actually a pretty rare book, and a decent copy is going to set you back over $100. Right, in we jump, and the first story is Father's Day. Haha, greetings kiddies, and welcome to the first issue of Creepshow, the magazine that dares answer the question, who goes there? I'm the Creep, and I'll be your guide on this journey into fear. Our first stop, the parlour of Grantham House. You'll like the Granthams, kiddies. They're the kind of people who steal candy from a baby, then lace it with arsenic and feed it to the dog. But read on, you'll get to meet them soon enough. So here we go. This is Father's Day. All the people are pretty horrible. And the father here kills his daughter's fiancée. And when he is demanding he gets his Father's Day's cake, his daughter takes revenge and kills him with what looks like a dog bowl. I presume it's the cake dish. So there we go, he's dead. However, he comes back to life some years later, and he's still asking for his Father's Day cake. Where's my cake, Bedelia? And look at this. This is great. Great panel construction. Great art by Berni Wrightson. You know, the Well, is he a zombie? Yes, I suppose he is. I want my cake, you expletive, and I'm going to have it. So, yeah, jolly tale for all. I've just blown that picture up. Daddy, oh my God, where's my cake, Bedelia? And, he gets his Father's Day's cake. It's Bedelia's head on a plate with candles on it. Happy Father's Day to me. Ah! Oh my Lord. Okay, so there we go. A fun story, number one. These stories in the comic are the same ones that get shown in the film. This one, The Lonesome Death of Geordie Verrell. I think the part of Geordie Verrell is actually played by Stephen King himself. He does appear in some films. This is a bit a sort of Swamp Thing like in this. What happens here is a meteor lands in a farm field. We've seen this story before. Pretty dim guy goes and finds the meteorite, starts interfering with it, and it starts turning him into a plant. Yeah, here we go. You can see here his tongue has got green sprouts on it. Oh, Dodd, my dong. Yeah. This film is, of course, all done with tongue in cheek, but you know, Berni Wrightson goodness here. Right, so unfortunately, a few hours later, he's become very plant-like and swamp thingy. So he decides that he'd rather be dead than be a plant thing. So he blows his head off, and here we see the result. There we go. Berni Wrightson getting to practice his Swamp Thing drawing. Right, the next story, The Crate. Welcome, kiddies. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bit edgy. Maybe I'm still feeling the effects of our last story. Or maybe it's just because I haven't been out in a long time. That's it. I've got that boxed in feeling. Which reminds me of another tale in my lurid lexicon. A little fear fable called The Crate. Okay, so we're at a university. Somebody sent a crate of something to the university, and unfortunately inside the crate is some kind of monster. So here's the janitor opening up the crate. Something's grabbed his arm. It's biting him. It takes him into the crate. It hurts. It's biting. Arg. And, oh, there we go. Too late, Charlie. That thing in the crate has got you. Right. Then we go to, we meet Henry, who has got a wife who is not very pleasant. You know what, Henry? You're a regular barnyard exhibit. Everything rolled up in one. Sheep eyes, chicken guts, piggy brains, and crap for brains. No good at departmental politics, no good at making an impression, and no good at all in bed. Dex Stanley may be a rapist, but at least he's got some ram in his ramrod. When was the last time you got it? Ah, Henry! Good Lord. And, yeah, so Henry successfully gets rid of Wilma and locks the creature up in a crate and dumps it into the river. But on the last page here, we see the creature trying to get out of the crate. And of course, we creep here. Well, I guess Wilma got what was coming to her, kiddies. But such manners, not so much as a thank you. The only word to describe Wilma now is, are you ready, kiddies? In crate. Well, there we go. Such good writing by Stephen King. Right, the next story, this is great. This is called Something to Tide You Over. And here we have a husband whose wife has cheated on him. And he decides to, in order to get revenge, he buries the lover and his wife on a beach up to their heads in sand as the tide is coming in. Not only that, but he is filming it. And he got it on the television here, and he's showing his wife being basically drowned in front of the lover. Such a lovely story. And he's also filming the lover, and we see the tide coming up and covering him up, and we get some real, and there we go. What a classic Berni Wrightson picture there of this guy drowning. But that is not the end of the story. Oh no, because these two come back to life as ghouls. And the guy says, I'll shoot you. Good Lord, you can't shoot us dead, Richard, because we're already dead. Yes, indeedy. What are they going to do to him? Well, they bury him up to sand, up to his neck in sand, and leave him for the tide to come in. Just desserts. Yeah, and looks like Richard got himself in over his head, eh, kiddies? No? Well, enough. It'll be over his head soon enough. Listen to him laugh. It's enough to drive you crazy, of course. I've been crazy for years, so it doesn't really bother me. Ready for some more putrid prose, kiddies? Right. Final story. They're creeping up on you. And here we've got a really quite nasty piece of work here. And he's got a problem with cockroaches or bugs. So this guy is, we see him dealing with people. He's pretty horrible. And we can see the bugs increasing here. And eventually we see him, and there's not a bug to be found anywhere. Where do you suppose they went, kiddies? Don't bother to ask Mr. Pratt. He can't tell you anything. But then again, maybe he can tell you where the bugs went after all. His lips are moving. Maybe he's trying to tell us something or show us something. Oh, goodness gracious me. Stephen King, Berni Wrightson, great stuff. And then the final panel. So that's where the bugs went. Looks like old Mr. Pratt was right after all, eh, kiddies? Those little suckers can hide anywhere. Well, that's our last yell yarn for this time until we get together for another foul fest. I'll leave you with those famous words from the classic film, Cassie Blecker. As old Bogey said to Ingrid Bergman, here's looking at you, kiddies. Right, so there we go. I am going to put a link to the YouTube trailer for Creepshow, so you can see some of these images converted to film. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It's a forgotten classic. Seek out the film, seek out the book. Thoroughly recommended. Enough said.